Ever wondered how one idea could change the world? How two students in a garage could build an empire that touches billions of lives every single day? This is the story of Larry Page, the quiet genius who, along with his partner Sergey Brin, didn't just create a search engine, they organized the world's information and, in doing so, built one of the most powerful companies in human history, Google. Born in Lansing, Michigan, Larry Page was practically destined for a life in technology. His father was a professor of computer science at Michigan State University, and his mother taught computer programming. Their home was filled with first-generation personal computers and tech magazines. For young Larry, taking things apart to see how they worked wasn't just a hobby, it was his childhood. He was the first kid in his elementary school to turn in an assignment that was word processed. While other kids were playing outside, Larry was dreaming up inventions. He once built a fully functional inkjet printer out of Lego bricks. This early fascination wasn't just about building things. It was about understanding the fundamental principles behind them. This curiosity would become the driving force of his entire life. After earning his degree in computer engineering from the University of Michigan, Larry headed west to Stanford University for his PhD in computer science. Stanford in the mid-90s was the epicenter of the digital revolution, a breeding ground for the next generation of tech innovators. It was here that Larry's life would change forever. He was looking for a dissertation topic, something big, something challenging. He became obsessed with the mathematical properties of the World Wide Web. At the time, search engines ranked websites based on how many times a search term appeared on a page. It was a simple and often ineffective system. Larry had a revolutionary idea. What if the value of a web page wasn't just about its own content, but about how many other pages linked to it? He theorized that a link from one page to another was a vote of confidence, a recommendation. The more high-quality votes a page received, the more important it must be. This concept, which he called backrub, was the very foundation of what would become Google's PageRank algorithm, named after him. It was a brilliant insight that would transform how we navigate the internet. But an idea, no matter how brilliant, needs collaboration to flourish. And at Stanford, Larry found his perfect counterpart. His name was Sergey Brin. Sergey, also a PhD student, was assigned to show Larry around campus. Initially, they didn't get along. They argued and debated almost every topic, but they soon discovered a shared intellectual passion and a deep respect for each other's minds. Sergey, a math prodigy, was captivated by Larry's backrub concept. Together, they began to turn Larry's theoretical idea into a functional search engine. They set up their first data center in Larry's dorm room, cobbling together a server from cheap, spare computer parts. The project quickly outgrew the dorm and took over Stanford's computer network. Their search engine was different. It was faster, more accurate, and delivered far more relevant results than anything else available. People at Stanford started using it, and word began to spread like wildfire. They knew they were onto something huge. They initially tried to license their technology to existing search companies like Yahoo and AltaVista, but no one was interested. The established players didn't see the value or thought the price was too high. So in 1998, faced with rejection but armed with unwavering belief in their technology, Larry and Sergey decided to go it alone. They dropped out of their PhD programs, a decision that must have been terrifying at the time. They raised about $1 million from angel investors, including a crucial early check from Sun Microsystems co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim, who famously wrote a check for $100,000 to Google Inc. before the company was even officially incorporated. With this funding, they moved their operation out of the dorm room and into a friend's garage in Menlo Park, California. This garage has since become a legendary symbol of Silicon Valley startup culture. This is where Google was truly born. With a small team, they worked relentlessly, driven by a simple, yet incredibly ambitious mission: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. The name Google itself was a play on the word Google, the mathematical term for the number 1 followed by 100 zeros, reflecting their mission to organize the immense amount of information on the web. The growth was explosive. Google's clean, minimalist homepage and superior search results were a stark contrast to the cluttered portals of the era. Users flocked to it. But how would they make money? Larry and Sergey were initially hesitant about advertising, fearing it would compromise the integrity of their search results. But they eventually developed a model that was as innovative as their search algorithm: AdWords. This system allowed advertisers to bid on keywords and display simple, text-based ads that were relevant to a user's search query. It was non-intrusive, highly effective, and it turned Google into a money-making machine. In 2004, Google went public in one of the most anticipated IPOs in history, instantly making Larry Page and Sergey Brin billionaires. But for Larry, it was never just about the money. He remained the chief visionary, the driving force behind Google's moonshot projects. He pushed the company to think beyond search. Under his leadership, Google launched Gmail, Google Maps, Google Chrome, and the Android operating system, which now powers the vast majority of the world's smartphones. He wasn't content with incremental improvements. He wanted to make 10x bets, to tackle huge problems with radical solutions. This philosophy led to the creation of Google X, the company's semi-secret research and development lab responsible for projects like self-driving cars, Waymo, smart contact lenses, and internet delivery balloons, Project Loon. Larry believed that with enough resources and brainpower, technology could solve humanity's biggest challenges. In 2015, in a massive corporate restructuring, he co-founded Alphabet Inc., a new parent company for Google and its various other ventures. He became the CEO of Alphabet, stepping back from the day-to-day management of Google to focus on this broader vision for the future. Larry Page is known for being intensely private and soft-spoken, a stark contrast to many of his Silicon Valley peers. He's not the showman. He's the thinker, the engineer, the architect of our digital age. His journey from a Lego-loving kid in Michigan to the helmsman of one of the world's most influential companies is a powerful testament to the force of a single brilliant idea. From a dorm room to a garage to a global empire, Larry Page didn't just build a company. He built the doorway to the modern internet.